Very controversial and unpopular opinion. Stop asking for a traditional wife if you can't be a traditional man. It goes both ways, right? But if you are a man and you are asking for your wife to be cooking, cleaning, and you have kids and watching the kids at the same time while working, I don't think that's fair at all. Because if you look at it, men say, "Hey, I want a traditional wife," right? But let's peel back the curtains, right? Let's look at what traditional men were doing. Traditional men was they was making sure the wife was not working. So the wife is not working a 9 to 5. They're at home doing those things because cooking and cleaning and taking care of kids is a full-time job. The kids alone, we know, requires a lot of energy. And especially after giving birth, you want your wife to be able to sit back at least bare minimum for a year, just relax with the kids, if not longer. But, with the state of economy, how everything is with inflation, that is not doable with a regular job. You need a higher income job in order to do the same thing. So what you have to understand is time have changed, right? Meaning, guess what? Jobs have gotten tougher, right? So if your wife is working in a warehouse job, that's even more brutal, first of all. Second of all, traditional men was making sure their wives was not working. If they're home taking care of the kids, cooking and cleaning. So if they're doing those things, now I'm not saying that if your girl is just you and your girl, you guys living alone, she can't cook and clean. That's very different. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you guys, are living together, she's cooking and cleaning, and you have kids or planning to have kids soon, then you can't complain about her not being able to do all three of those things. Because guess what? If you have kids, even if you have kids, right, that's even crazy. You have kids, multiple kids, and she's cooking, cleaning, and take care of the kids, and you refuse to help, is what the route I'm going to. If you refuse to help because, like, yo, I pay the bills, you know what I'm saying? But guess what? You pay the bills, but she's still working, so you ain't paying enough bills. You know what I'm saying? You ain't paying enough bills. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. And a lot of guys like, oh, I don't make enough money. That work harder. As simple as that. Work harder, or just start helping your wife do these things. Stop putting it all on her because you feel like that's what a wife should be doing. Because guess what? What a husband should be doing is making sure their wife is not working and staying at home with the kids. Now, it's very different if you have a wife who wants to be out there in the workforce, working, have her own money. Okay, that's just the partner you chose. At that point, you guys have to set your own boundaries, everything of that sort. But if you're looking at textbook definition of traditional men and traditional women, that's how it goes. The wife is at home taking care of the kids and doing all the chores at home, whatever the case may be. The man does the heavy lifting, works, wife relax at home, does the heavy lifting at home, essentially, with the kids and everything of that sort. The husband can come back, there's a hot meal on the table, whatever the case may be. But guess what? It's not like that these days, unless you're able to excel beyond the traditional man, or the average man, I should say, these day and times. But once again, I've been talking about the men. Let's flip it, right? The other roles. If a woman is asking for a traditional husband, are you doing what traditional wives are doing? Are you cooking and cleaning? You see what I'm saying? Are you cooking and cleaning? Or are you like not even trying to do all those things? You know what I'm saying? If he's making sure that, you know what I'm saying, there's the bills are getting paid and he has you not working, guess what? You ain't doing those things. That's really bad. It's like, yo, what are you doing? You see what I'm saying? So you're not cooking and cleaning, and you're just taking care of the kids, or one or the other. It's like, okay, well, you expect them to take care of the kids as well. You don't work. You see what I'm saying? Now, of course, he should want to spend time with his kids and everything of that sort, but not it being pushed on him like, yo, you have to do this, like change the diapers and everything of that sort. But no, of course, he should want to take care of his kids, of course. But there's different levels to it where he's having to watch his kids all the time, like do everything for the kid, and you are at home. All the things you should be doing is what I'm saying, right? So that's my view on that, my take on that. Let me know down below in the comments. That's how I've seen a lot of debates on this, but I feel like it's very simple. If you say the word of traditional wife and traditional men, husbands, look back in the day what they were doing. The traditional wife were not cooking and cleaning and working 9 to 5. They was not. They was chilling back home. Even though the husband back then was, had a little more freedom with doing crazy stuff, whatever the case may be. Well, not freedom, I should say, but more, what's the word? It was going crazy, essentially. It was out of control, in some cases. But once again, This works vice versa. Look at the roles of each and think about what you're providing for your partner and what you're expecting in return. If they're working, husband wise, if your wife is working, she's cooking, cleaning, and you're expecting more, or you don't feel like she's doing enough, guess what? She barely has time. That's 2 full-time jobs, but you have one. Yes, you can do the heavy lifting of the, like, okay, those are the bare minimums. But if you can't make your wife stop cooking and cleaning, you gotta be helping around the house. That's just what it is. You gotta be helping around the house. You gotta be helping around the house. Now, if you have her not working and then she's not doing that, that's a whole different story at that point. That's a conversation with you and your partner. But just be wary. And if you're at a point where you're trying to make more money, and so you can start providing those things for your wife, you know what I'm saying? Because once I get married, I put myself in a position where I set myself up. So once I do get married, I can provide that for my partner because of the fact that I put myself in a position to be able to make sure. Because I thought about this at a really young age. I'm like, I'm seeing people complain about, I'm literally 15, 16, 17 years old thinking about these things. And I set myself up for the future. So now I'm 24 years old. I'm in a position to have my partner not work. When that time comes, stay home, take care of the kids, everything of that sort. All the bills is handled. You don't got to worry about nothing. You don't even got to know what bills is even happening. You don't got to worry about none of that. Chill. We're going to spend time together as family, spend time with the kids, relax, cook and clean, hot meal on the table. Boom. And that's how you do it. All right. Talk to y'all later.